Now, the big story, global story, of course, is the entire Middle East flare-up conflict, and it's not targeted in that sense. It's getting spread out even more between Iran and Israel. Is it going to impact shipping lines in any meaningful way? So let's get some perspective. Sunil Vaswani is with us, Executive Director at Container Shipping Lines, and he's, of course, the association. And Dushyant Mulani is President at Federation of Freight Forwarders Association in India. Gentlemen, good morning. Great to have both of you here. Appreciate it very much. Prashant here. Sunil, if I can start with you, if you can give us some context. So as viewers here, what's happening globally? The big one, of course, has been this the Strait of Hormuz, which has never been closed, but it's not a non-negligible risk because if things happen which have never happened before, who knows what can happen. We've had President Trump, for example, saying, well, we'll have peace. Then he's saying, sometimes things, people have just got to fight it out. So no one really knows which way this is going to go. But just give us the state of play for shippers. How does this work out?
So morning, and thanks for having me on the show. Now let's break this up into two parts. As far as the shipping lines are concerned themselves, we are rather living under uncertain circumstances. And by now, over the last 5 years, the shipping lines have actually learned how to, play along depending on the scenario. So right from the time the COVID struck, and then the Red Sea crisis, and the US tariffs, and now the Iran-Iraq conflict, Iran-Israel conflict. So we've been actually deploying and redeploying our fleet depending on the current, on the scenario at that point in time. Now, let's break it up into two parts. One is the Suez Canal, the Red Sea and the Suez Canal, Bab al-Mandab, and the other one is the Strait of Hormuz. Now, as far as the Suez Canal is concerned, most of the shipping lines have already diverted their ships over the Cape of Good Hope. So over the last one and a half years, most of the lines are already plying the ships around the Cape of Good Hope rather than going via the Suez Canal. So if that's a fear that the freight rates will go up because the lines have to now go over the Cape of Good Hope, barring a couple of lines, by and large, all of them have already moved over the Cape of Good Hope. So that's done. So I don't think that is going to change or make any difference to a great extent. Point number two, the silver lining on the cloud is that over the last 1 year, the freight rates have also dropped. Like, for instance, to Europe, the rates had dropped by about 50%. And to the US, they have dropped by about 33%. So, again, this fear that the rate levels might go up or whatever it is, they are still at this point of time lower than what they were the last year. So your base is low at this point in time.
These are container rates.
Point number two.
These are container rates? Container.
The container rates. I'm talking about
container okay. Rates, Please go on.
Yeah, thanks. And as far the other one is the Strait of Hormuz, the Persian Gulf, the upper Gulf. Now over there, most of the lines, the large carriers, they're all long-haul carriers, so they don't essentially cater only to the to that sector. The lines that do call there to Jebel Ali are essentially calling for transshipment services. Now, as of today, there is no war risk or anything that's a premium that's been announced. The insurance companies have not increased anything, but we got to wait and watch how the situation goes. And also the bunker costs. Bunker costs could possibly go up. They already started moving up. So we can't rule out, to what extent those costs will go up and then to what extent that will be passed on to the trade. But as things stand, nothing has changed. But these are really uncertain times and it's really too early to say anything. So I would keep my fingers crossed. But I would say it's a matter of concern, but it's not a panic situation. Thank you.
That's great context. So what you're saying is that container lines anyway were most of them because of all the Houthi attacks, etc. I think anyway they were plying around the Cape of Good Hope.
Yes.
So whatever impact had to happen has perhaps happened. And you said that year on year, container freight rates are down by how much?
So by about, I'm giving approximate percentage, about 50% as far as India to Europe is concerned, and by about 33% as far as India to the US is concerned. So, so if you give me 2 minutes more, while we talk about the US tariffs, and we are also concerned simultaneously about the US tariffs, so there also our base rate levels are currently lower than what they were last year. And of course, as per the latest news, we are hopeful that some sort of an agreement would be in place, which would be mutually beneficial. So let's hope for the best and take it forward from there. Thank you.
Okay, fair point. Let's just bring in Mr. Dushyant Mulani into the conversation as well. Mr. Mulani, what's your assessment? Hearing Mr. Vaswani, it seems like, at least for now, at least on the container side, there is no immediate threat of a huge rise in freight rates. What is it that you're hearing? And I don't know if you're looking at the tanker market as well. Could there be some issues there? Oil prices are rising, but the Strait of Hormuz is still open. Your thoughts?
Yes, thank you. Good morning, all. First and foremost, I definitely respect what my friend Sunilji has conveyed here. Point is that this conflict is very volatile. Nobody knows that how long this is going to last for. And the repercussions of this will be known to the entire logistics sector and trade and industry in next week or so. That's my assessment. We've been talking to a lot of people on the global front, in the region rather. And the Strait of Hormuz, which controls approximately 20 to 25% of global oil supplies, there will definitely some disruption is expected very soon. As far as the Indian trade and industry is concerned, these kind of events, global events, do throw up challenges, and India needs to build its own logistics security, which is very crucial, as important as defense or food security for our country. Whether it was Red Sea or earlier conflicts or COVID, that time Indian exporters have faced cost escalations. Fortunately, past 12 months, there has been softening of freight rates. But this challenge, which is there at present, where it is going to lead to, it's too premature. We are in very active dialogue with the Ministry of Commerce and Ministry of Finance. We are trying to work out and envisage how these shocks can be absorbed by Indian trade and
Mr. Mulani, if I can just come in. You said we are expecting some disruption in the Strait of Hormuz.
Yes.
Is that the chatter within the shipping community, that or is that like an educated guess?
No. Rather, it's the feedback is coming from the trade and industry side quite a lot, from the logistics sector, and across the region. Just last night, we had a detailed interaction with our peers in that region, Middle East region. And they are quite worried. People are taking a very cautious note, because in that Strait of Hormuz, which at the narrowest point is about 33 kilometers between Oman and Iran, that's been a very troubled point. And the signals are coming up. People are taking a very cautious note of it now.
I mean, there's no way to know, as I said, in terms of what's going to happen. But Mr. Vaswani, that is a bit of a choke point, especially important for oil more than anything else. What's your sense, sir?
You've hit the nail on the head. It's more for oil, and that's why I touched upon the topic of bunker prices, because then that would impact everything. That would impact container shipping as well. As far as Iran is concerned, of course, this is my personal opinion. No one knows what's going to happen. But at least Iran or the Houthis may not necessarily strike, because it will only hurt Iran's supply of oil or the supplies into the Gulf, But what could happen is in the crossfire between Israel and Iran, if some of the missiles or some of the bombs just hit the ships, then that would be dangerous. Then because then the ships would possibly back off, and they might cut their services, or the ones that do operate would, of course, definitely impose war risk premiums, and the cost would rise. The services could get impacted. But as I said, as of now, the services are still going on. Even till yesterday, the ships that had to ply there have been plying. So let's wait and watch.
Let's hope it doesn't come to it. But I think, as both of you acknowledged, no one really knows in terms of how this is going to impact things. I think everybody's just sort of looking at the last two instances of flare-ups when it's been pretty limited. I mean, the impact has been limited and short-lived, and I guess that's what you can go with. Because otherwise, I mean, the consequences could be more severe. Mr. Vaswani, thank you very much for joining us and explaining to us the state of affairs right now. And Mr. Mulani, thank you very much for the feedback that you've gathered and your perspective on the matter as well.